do what I thought would be best for me. And then so that's learning about addiction, that's learning about who I am, that's learning about other people, how relationships work, and things like that. Because everything always comes back to relationships in life, and my relationship to other people, and my relationship to the world around me, right? We're in a beautiful place here. How do I fit into that? Like I was always trying to get other people to fit into my world instead of me trying to fit into theirs. And I know that's funny or it sounds strange because you don't want to be untrue to yourself, and you don't want to just do whatever other people are doing. But we do live in an environment or community where we want to all have a place. And so to ask that question, what's my place in this greater space, I think is more than helpful. It's necessary. And then through that, being able to find meaning and purpose. And I did that through faith, but then also through discovering, what am I good at? What do I like? What do I hate? What do I do that makes someone else go, whoa, hey, you're particularly good at that. You have some sort of a gift. It may be raw, it may need to be refined, but there's something there. And then to be able to take that and then use that for the good of other people was something that I learned while I was in recovery. Because prior to going into that 7 months of recovery, because this wasn't my first rodeo. I had tried to stop using a number of times before. And I heard everything from, well, you don't need to stop using. It's, using is a completely normal part of life. And although I can understand what the sentiment was, that advice doesn't fly for every single person, because I couldn't smoke crack in moderation. I couldn't be a weekend warrior. I was all or nothing. I couldn't drink. I could never have one drink. And some people might say, oh, that's just what I thought. But no, I kind of tried it. I experimented. Scientific method, right? I had a hypothesis. I can only drink one drink. And then I tested that hypothesis on numerous occasions. And each time it was an abject failure. So I know for myself, using in moderation was not something that I could accomplish. And so I needed something else. So people that told me that I could and be okay, that had to go. Other people told me I had a disease. It wasn't my fault, that I could just, there was nothing I could do. It was a form of determinism, that I had somehow caught this thing called alcoholism or drug addiction. And through no fault of my own, I was now cursed to have to live out however long until maybe it left, maybe it didn't, and that was it. But because of that, what I was doing wasn't bad. My behavior wasn't really that bad because I didn't really have any control. I didn't have a choice. And that was depressing. Man, that was, because at first then when I heard that, I kind of threw up my arms in the air and said, well, then what's the point of anything, right? If I can't control this, then, woohoo, I might as well live it up. But the problem was, A, it wasn't fun anymore, and B, I wasn't living anything. I was just, as I said before, existing, and that's just no fun. So I knew something had to change, and that's when I went into this recovery place. They said, Chris, you may not be bad, but what you're doing is you need to change that behavior. If you don't, you're going to die, or something's going to happen, right? You're just going to keep destroying all the relationships that you hold dear, which was true, because I didn't really have very many relationships left that I coveted. And so I went into it and spent that 7 months working on being the best person I could to be able to manage myself and manage life on life's terms, and be able to serve other people and do things for non-selfish purposes, which is funny. And it's almost like a funny thing, because it was selfish purposes, because I did it to be able to get myself out of that thing. So I don't know how to resolve that, but it is what it is. I just have to live with that.